Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, Thursday. Thirsty
Man,
Thursday. I'm
well,
not that thirsty, but thirsty Thursday.
well, you can get plenty to drink around here. It is storming outside, so
Oh man.
if my Wi-Fi goes out, I
Uh-huh.
apologize ahead of time because we never
Okay.
know when these storms roll through if we're going to lose power or not.
Wow. Huh. Well,
It's
don't bring it
bad.
over here, man. It's been beautiful over here in West Virginia, man. Don't sit over here.
Man, I tell you what, the thunder has been awful.
Uh-huh.
So don't be surprised if you don't hear something in the background.
Oh, okay, all right. As long as nothing pops or go off,
Yeah, if you see the lights go out, then the Wi-Fi goes out, and well,
wow, man. Huh.
yeah, it's
Whew.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it stays okay.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Hope you stay live with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, man, I don't know if y'all heard, man. When's the violence gonna stop? We done lost the founder and creator of Cash App Tuesday.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Stabbed to
Dude
death.
was stabbing. This man got stabbed.
Outlaw the guns.
If it's not guns, it's knives. It's not knives. It's
yeah, they want to
we just
outlaw
can't escape
guns.
violence, man. We can't escape it.
Gonna have to outlaw knives now.
Shoot, we're gonna have to outlaw just people being outside.
Nobody's allowed to go outside. Did you ever see that movie Wall-E? About the little robot that they
I heard of it. I haven't seen it though. I heard of it. Yeah.
So everybody's living in spaceships, I believe. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but they sent this robot back to Earth to kind of clean up and I guess look for any signs of life because the whole planet is just it's destroyed, right?
Wow.
And he finds a plant and takes it back to him, and then they decide they want to come back to Earth. But everybody on the spaceships, they're in these hover chairs,
right?
And they're all like 600 pounds, you know, can't move, and they're just that's how they get around, those little hover chairs. That's what we're gonna become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard of it. I never seen it though, man. I'm about to check it out then.
One of the few good Disney movies.
Right, man. Yeah. 43 years old. Bob Lee, 43 years old.
Dang, I remember that like it was 10 years ago.
43. I'm 43. 43.
I'll be 53 this year.
Oh, wow, man. I didn't know you was that old, man.
I'm an old fart.
Well, you look good, man. 53, man. Look good, 53, man.
Thank you. So I'm a vampire.
Yeah, God's good for you. I can see.
I got some of Dick Clark's blood. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the future Cash App is gonna look like. I can't say. You know, when the founder creator of a major application like that dies, a lot of things changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, for a lot of you YouTubers and whatever platform you're on that use, you know, ask for Cash App, and who knows, Cash App might be gone soon. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know. I don't know what the plan is. They don't even know who did this to Bob Lee. They have nothing. Nothing. There's nothing. They don't know who did it. They don't know why it happened. Nothing.
I don't know, but you know, 43-year-olds not exactly planning to die the next day, you know.
No, I'm 43. I'm not planning to die, especially not getting stabbed on the street.
Nope.
Sad, man. The world is sad. It's a sad place.
Sad world we live in nowadays.
Sad place. But I hope and pray they catch whoever did it, and whoever did it, I hope and pray they do life.
Yep.
Because there's no reason for that at all. Period. No.
My main concern is they don't misgender them.
Yeah, gotta throw some comedy in there, man. But yeah, it's serious, man. These streets are serious.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Bob Lee, man. I hope they catch whoever did it. But I mean, what we're talking about today goes with what we're the situation of Bob Lee. Kind of goes with what we're talking about today. Mental health. The person that did that to Bob Lee more than likely was dealing with some mental health issues.
Yep.
More than likely. And we don't talk about it much. I think some people actually think mental health is a joke.
Well, the people that actually have mental health problems, they're not as open with it.
Right.
And then there's a bunch, especially kids nowadays, that are on TikTok that claim to have all these mental illnesses.
Right.
And I think they're trying to make themselves victims. It's a form of protection, I believe. You know, it's like, oh, you can't mess with me because you know I'm mentally ill. They're claiming to have Tourette's and multiple personalities and all this stuff, and you know, multiple personalities. That's one of those subjects that's you know, kind of debatable, but
Right.
it's not as common as TikTok wants you to believe that it is.
Right. 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 They keep talking about trying to get rid of it, man.
Oh yeah, TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, get rid of it. I don't care.
Yeah, get rid of all the social media. Get rid of all of it. It's no good.
You know the bill that they proposed to get rid of TikTok.
Uh,
I'm not for this bill because they can do things to you that you know it's kind of third world country kind of stuff. You know,
right.
it's communism. You know,
Mm,
if you communicate with someone in a different country, even using a VPN,
right.
and they deem it to be detrimental for the United States, you can spend 20 years in jail.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I'm not for this bill. I mean the TikTok thing. If they were to make it a U.S. owned company, then maybe yeah, keep it as
It's not gonna be no better.
stupid.
We
I
corrupt as
don't.
well.
Well, I'm not going to debate that. I mean, but I mean, you see, China is using every bit of information they can get through this TikTok app, and you think it's innocent. Your kids in there making little TikTok videos, and you think there's nothing to it,
Right.
and there's more to it than you realize. You don't understand how dangerous that app really is.
Right. 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 Yeah, man. I had to take my son off of Roblox, man. I didn't know
Really.
Roblox was so. I was like, Roblox is the kid game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. They got grown people in there playing, and it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
There's no safe space for kids.
there's no right. There's no safe place for them, man. It's not. I
Too
mean, what you
many.
think there's a safe place for them? We go over there and mess it all up. Like,
Yeah.
like
Well, the
why are grown people playing Roblox and Farmland and?
because they want to get to the kids.
Come on, man.
And what's
I don't
sad,
need to escape to a fairy tale land. I don't need to escape.
what's sad is there's this corrupt part of society that wants to make, you know, the P word like a normal thing.
Oh, mm-hmm. Right.
And that's creepy.
I mean,
I mean, hell, if it's not online, then they try to do it through these drag shows.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I can't. I look. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I can't say that these people don't, love what they love
Mm-hmm.
because the others say they love who they love.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you love who you love, and they say they love who they love. So how are you gonna tell them they wrong? You can't tell them they wrong.
Yeah, but don't be loving a 7-year-old kid.
It's like, man, it's like, what's right, what's wrong?
If you want to go biblically speaking, just about everything we're doing nowadays is wrong.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Anything you do too much of is supposed to be a sin.
Yep.
You eat too much, that's supposed to be a sin.
Gluttony.
You talk too much, that's supposed to be a sin.
I do talk too much.
Don't we all, man? We probably all talk too much. But yeah, so yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that mental health is a real thing or just a cop out for some people to use?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Just as I said before, there's people that do really have mental illness that aren't getting the help that they need,
Right.
and a lot of them are they're just not open about it.
Mm.
And then there's too many people that are claiming mental illness as like I said, I think it's a defense mechanism to try to keep people from attacking them. Oh well, I made a mistake, but I'm mentally ill, so you can't say anything negative to me.
Right. I think everybody, I think all of us have some kind of mental health issue. I think we've all in life deal with some kind of post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
To what level? We all got different levels of different things, but I think all people, put it like this, all people have PTSD. We've all, at a certain point of our lives, been through something stressful.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was diagnosed with PTSD because I was molested when I was a little kid.
Wow.
But I refused to be a victim.
Right.
Which is why I meditate.
Mm.
I used to, if I got into a crowd of people, I would freak out.
Wow, man.
But now that I go through meditation before I get into that situation,
right,
I have myself calm down, and then once I get in, say like I'm going into a pavilion, I know where the exits are,
mm-hmm.
and if I'm with someone, I can just kind of focus on them,
right,
and then I calm down.
Right.
But there's too many people nowadays that want to be victims.
Right.
Yeah, it's why are there so many people wanting to be victims?
Because it's easy. It's easy. No, it's easy to be a victim today. Too easy. Too easy to be a victim. But
people don't like being criticized.
I'm happy you shared that part, man, because I also went through some things too, man, in the military. Dealing with sexual trauma. Being somewhere I wasn't supposed to be at, got caught up, and it happens, man. When you're in the military, you do a lot of drinking, a lot of partying. I could have possibly got slipped something. It's a possibility. I don't know. But I've drunk. I used to drink before. I drink before. I've drunk stuff before, right?
Yeah.
But that night was different. When I was drinking, something wasn't right. Passed out, woke up in a strange situation. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Only thing I know is woke up in the room. I was naked, and don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. Don't even know how I got to the room. Don't even know.
Man.
So, yeah, man. So, yeah. So let me tell y'all something, man. Mental health. The reason I did this show is because I lost a friend of mine, ex-battle buddy in military. I didn't know that he was, he had the drug problem. I had no idea he had a drug problem. Had no idea. Young guy, man. He was in the 30s, man. 30s, has children, has wife, and just life took over, man. Drug overdose.
Jeez.
Drug overdose, man. Had to bury him last year in the last year, man. Had to go and bury him. Yep.
Yeah. Alcoholism and drug addiction, that's a mental illness. And usually the reason why you get into drinking and drugs is there's an underlying problem there. It's never been addressed.
Right. Like I was saying, man, I think I told you yesterday, man. During our deployment, man, we was in Iraq and Afghanistan. A lot of us came back, man. We didn't get any mental back. We didn't get a mental evaluation. None of us did. We got up. We came home. You know what I'm saying? We had a little briefing, and we got sent home. There was no, hey, how you feeling? Do you feel all right? Are you having any thoughts? None of that. Nothing, man. Nothing.
I've talked to a lot of veterans. I've had a few on my show, And I work with this group called Veterans for Veterans.
Heard of them?
And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a veteran myself, but I do feel for our veterans.
Right.
You are basically trained as an attack dog and then expected to be a puppy when you come home.
Right.
And you just, how do you adjust from, you're out there fighting for your life, you're
Every day.
trying to kill the other person,
Mm.
and then you come home and think that you're just supposed to adjust to society that easy?
Right. It's not, man. It's not.
How can it be? I don't know how it could be that easy. I mean, I have no doubts that there are those out there that were able to do that, but for most, I can't see it being an adjustment that can, can come easily. How?
Yeah, because you can't, you really can't turn it off, man.
How can you?
You can't turn it off. I mean, I still have, moments in my life, man, where I'm like, certain sounds, certain things that go on around me, and it kind of takes me back. When I went over there, man, it was like the very beginning of the war when it started.
Yeah.
So all day, every day, you hear gunshots, bullets flying, all day, every day. Knowing you go into a country where even the children hate you, and you gotta protect yourself against children.
That's sad.
Thank God I never had to harm a kid. Thank God. But I had a lot of friends out there was like, man, this kid came running at me with a bomb strapped to him. It's like,
dude, do you ever have dreams about being over there?
Not really, man. Not really. Only thing that kind of traumatized me, man, is that I came this close to death when I was over there. I'm sitting on the park bench with my friends. Like I said, there's gunfire all day, every day. Bullets just flying, and they from everywhere. So you can't say where it's coming from, because that's what's going on all day. Just gunfire. I'm sitting on the bench. A bullet grazes my head, hits the wall, and falls right next to my foot.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, all day, every day. That's all you hear is. Psh, 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 psh. It was a mess, man. It was a mess. But I know a lot of guys that came back home, man. And they did a.
God, and the red tape you guys have to go through to get any kind of help. I think they do it so you'll just give up.
Right. So
the government doesn't care what happens to you. They got their use out of you, and
especially those that's in office right now, they don't give a damn about the military.
Nope. Nothing. Well, we're done with you.
It's proof that they don't. You see what they do with our equipment in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
They just left it.
So somebody is going to tell me about gun control, but hands over thousands of guns to our enemies.
They just left our equipment. Just left it. So if we ever do have an issue with them again, they can use our own stuff against us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Nope.
Nope, not at all, man. Not at all.
Why wouldn't you have a plan to get all your equipment out before you left?
I mean, we even left people there. There's still people in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's ridiculous as well. I don't see, they're not Brittany Griner, so they're not in a rush to get them home.
All right.
Maybe they all should claim that they're gay or something, and they'll bring them home. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone out there that's gay.
Right, but that seems like the only thing we're focusing on right now.
That seems to be the only thing the government cares about.
Right. Which is sad. Which is very sad.
It's not fair to the gay community out there.
No, it's not. It's not. But I mean, if it works for you, hey. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about about why the government treats us so bad as veterans so bad. I mean, you got. There's so many homeless veterans right now, man. You know.
I know. We're sending billions of dollars across the sea to help another country that we ain't got no business messing with.
Right.
And we've got all these homeless people, veterans or not, that need help. You know, we need facilities where we can bring the veterans in, get them the mental help that they need,
right.
the physical help that they need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, help them get off the alcohol and drugs, and give them a place to stay, give them some dignity. You know, give them some clothes to wear, give them food in their bellies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and help them as long as it takes until they can get on their own 2 feet.
Right.
Which is something that I'm striving for. I want to get enough money together to open up a place like that. You know,
wow.
May not be able to help everyone, but I can at least try to help some.
Right,
you know?
right. What is the homeless population out there your way?
Jeez, I'd have to look up the numbers, but it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it was getting to where they were camping out in front of subdivisions. You know, they come onto your property and set up a tent, and the cops won't do anything about it. They'll set up. Good Lord, man! There was a time that we would go through Austin,
mm-hmm.
and you'd see little encampments underneath the bridges.
Right.
And their way of helping them is they would put porta potties out there for them. You know, there was a kid out there. God, he probably was in his early 20s, and he would draw all day, and he would try to sell his pictures. And so we stopped and we bought a couple of pictures from him just to help him out. And he wasn't asking a whole lot, so we gave him what we had. You know, it was a lot more than what he was asking for.
Right.
And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm patting myself on the back here. It's just, if you're trying, I want to help.
Right.
But they also have to want the help. There's some out there who don't want you to help them at all.
Oh yeah. Right. They've gotten you so used to being homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
I mean, we should do everything that we can to encourage them to get the help. But if you don't want it, you can't force them.
Right. Yeah. You can't force them. I got a good friend out here that's homeless, man, and every time they try to, take him off the street, get him cleaned up, he goes right back to the street. He's like, dude, I don't want no regular life. I was like, huh? You don't like being in shelter and clothed and fed? It was like, no. I've lived this life so long. This is normal to me. I was like, wow, man. That alone is sad.
Yeah.
That you've been homeless so long that it feels weird to live a normal life. It's sad, man.
And these are the folks that need the help the most, and we're not doing anything.
Right. Yeah. So when he told me that, it didn't make sense. I was like, but then again, it's like, yeah, I guess if you live in certain ways so long, it'd be weird to try to live another way. It just wouldn't feel right.
But, and if I go into Austin, I make sure I have my gun on me.
Wow. Man, it's that bad?
Yeah. There are areas that are that bad. Dude, we had some friends that came to visit us, and the popular spot in Austin is 6th Street.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the best bars and little shops and stuff are. That's where everybody goes to party and hang out. And we got out and we were looking at stuff, and it came time to leave. And as we're leaving, we noticed that somebody was shadowing us everywhere we went.
Right.
And so I had to make sure that I was ready with my gun just in case.
Wow.
And luckily, the guy that was with us, he's a huge guy. He's one of those can pick you up with one hand and smack you with the other. And I think because he looked like he was ready for trouble, I think they thought twice before they approached us. But
Wow.
we got out of there, but it was scary.
Man.
I wouldn't
ladies
let my
and
kids
gentlemen,
go.
I don't want to just talk about the mental health that goes on in the military. I want to talk about the mental health that goes on in the police force.
Yeah.
That needs attention. The mental health that goes on in the medical field needs attention. A lot of these fields, there's a lot that these people see that can affect them mentally. Medical field, police force. I think a lot of these officers, the police officers on these streets, man, they need mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine walking in the war zone every day. I mean, me going to Iraq and Afghanistan, that was different. I knew eventually I was coming home. These guys pretty much in Afghanistan, Iraq all day, every day. They don't know what they're going to get them to every day. And I feel sorry for the police that are out here doing it, man. I feel sorry for them. I don't know what I would do if I was in a situation where I felt nervous or felt my life was in danger. I don't know what I would do. I have no idea. I don't know these people.
Can you imagine what their families go through too? Knowing that it's possible their loved
mom is going out into the street, and she might not come home, or he might not come home.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You don't know if they're coming home that night.
Right. It takes a very mental and physical strong person to join the police force. Very strong person. Also, the medical field too. I'm not even going to the medical field too. I tried to do it. I tried before I joined the military. I tried to go in the medical field. I tried to. Went to school, got my certification to go in the middle. And the way I saw it, man, it was just too much. I was like, man, watching people die in front of you. Can't help somebody because they're too sick. I was like, oh man, I can't do it. I just couldn't do it, man. I tried it. I was in the medical field for probably about a good 5-6 months. And I said, nah, I can't do this. It's too much. I can't do it.
You know, my daughter actually went to school to become a police officer.
Okay, what happened?
She eventually changed her mind, and she's a bank manager now.
Oh, good.
Thank God.
It's dangerous life bank managers too.
Yeah. I don't worry as much with her working in a bank as I would have if she had been working for the police.
Yes.
Especially the way, I mean, you've got government officials that don't even back the police. So,
right.
You know, there's this push against our police force, but without them, what would this society be?
Oh, we'd be so done. Could you imagine with no police?
It's as bad as it is now with the police. I can't imagine without them. And I do think that they should have an evaluation, whether it's every 6 months or every year or whatever. And you know, because you don't want a cop with anger issues out there.
Exactly.
And unfortunately,
or officer on the street that's scared.
Yeah, because a scared person is liable to do anything.
Right.
You know,
and that's one of the biggest problems I think we have right now in the police force, man. We got a lot of officers in the street that are scared to do it. I mean, they go to school to be an officer, but when they get in that street, it's a whole different situation.
I mean, when you have government officials that are over you and they are talking bad about you, you don't feel like you have anybody in your corner.
Right. I can't even do my job right.
Exactly. You know, I understand it's going to cost money, but we do need to evaluate these cops. You don't want someone that, you know, is out there pissed off and then goes above and beyond and ends up like George Floyd.
Exactly.
In that situation, you know?
Right.
If he had gotten some help before he went to go do that arrest, George Floyd might be alive today.
He might be. He might be, man. He might be. And I mean, there's other cases like George Floyd too. You know what I'm saying? But officers need mental health evaluations. Active and retired soldiers need mental health evaluations. Same thing with the police force too. Active and retired police force, active and retired medical people in the medical field. These are the ones that we should be taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure they are capable of doing their job fully with no issues.
Yep.
A soldier with mental health cannot protect and serve this country.
Nope.
A police officer with mental health issues cannot protect and serve the streets. A doctor or nurse in the medical field cannot protect and help you in the hospital. They can't.
The going back to the police, there's got to be some confusion because they wonder if that next arrest they make with a minority, they're going to be put on the news or somebody's put the video out on them, and
right,
they may be justified in arresting someone, but because that person happens to be a minority, they're going to get blasted for it. Or
right.
Let's say, like in New York, you arrest somebody and then they turn around and just let them go.
Right.
I mean, but boy, don't be a Republican presidential nominee. They'll arraign you or indict you for anything.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You can go out. You can go out and rob someone at gunpoint, and they'll turn around and let you go because they, oh, this person's underprivileged and feel sorry for them, let them go. But I wouldn't want to be a police officer in these times.
No, I wouldn't want to be a police officer no time. Like I said, man, I couldn't imagine leaving the house every day not knowing what my day's gonna look like. Not knowing, it's crazy. Man. Only reason I joined the military the time I did was because I wanted to get revenge for what happened at 9/11.
Yeah, a lot of kids did.
Not know exactly what that meant.
A lot of kids
I didn't know what that meant to get revenge or no.
Did you see the video? It was a lady. She happened to be a black lady, and they were telling her that they wanted to deploy her to somewhere where there's war going on. And she says, "This ain't what I signed up for." And I said, "What do you mean that ain't what you signed up for? That is what you signed up for." She thought she only joined the military so she could get into school.
Oh, Lord, no.
Like, are you stupid or something?
Hey, I mean, I get it. I went in the same way, man. I didn't know what I was thinking when I said I'm going to go get revenge and join the military and go fight, and not knowing that I was actually going to really be fighting. I was like, okay, your screws they weren't real tight. But yeah, man, I lost a lot of friends overseas, man. A lot of friends overseas, and then I lost a lot of friends who come back home too, due to drug abuse, alcohol abuse, mental health. They just killed themselves. Killed themselves.
Do you remember the Gulf War syndrome that those soldiers were coming back with?
I heard something of that. Yeah, I heard a little bit of it. Yeah,
they were exposed to some kind of chemical while they were out there.
Agent Orange.
Yeah, a really good friend of ours, her son was over there during the Gulf War, and he came back, and man, he just had all these health issues, and the red tape that he was going through to try to get the help that he needed was ridiculous. And I don't know whatever happened to him. I know he wasn't right when he came back.
Wow, man. Wow.
Yeah. That was Patrick Swayze's aunt and uncle who we were friends with, and that was his cousin that had came back from the Gulf War all sick.
Wow, man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important, very, very important to know the telltale signs of somebody dealing with mental health. It's very, very important. There are a lot of things that you can look at with a person and tell they're going to mental health. One thing is they probably don't want to eat. Two is they probably don't want to do anything.
That was me.
3, they probably start drinking a lot. 4,
doing drugs.
There's a whole bunch of things that you got to make sure you pay attention to with a person that's dealing with that. You might be like, oh, okay, then they don't really do it as much. They don't, blah, blah, blah. You have to be sure that you look very carefully, because sometimes what you think is just a little bit is more than you think it is. Like you might see them do it one day, and you might not see them do it the next day. But if they continuously do it on a regular basis, that they put like this: if you know they haven't done it before, and they start doing it now, that's where you can be like, okay, there's something wrong.
Dude, I used to lock myself up in my room, and I blacked out the windows and everything, and I would just sit in there.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of times I would spend hours sitting in a chair in my room watching television and not associating with anyone. I didn't want to go anywhere.
Right.
I didn't want anybody coming over. I attempted to end my own life several times.
Wow.
And I mean, I was serious. I didn't leave a note or anything.
Right.
And I thought I had put myself in a situation where nobody would find me. But luckily, I had people that cared enough that they checked on me and they found me before I died.
Wow, man. Yeah, it's tough, man. Just dealing with the world in general, not just talking about, the military and the police and all that. There's a lot that goes on in the world today that's very stressful, can cause you to just world alone, man, just rough.
Dude,
just rough.
Just us being males and being straight, we are attacked.
Right. And now women have been attacked. Women can't even be women.
Nope.
It's a mess, man. It's crazy. So I would advise everybody, man. Look, if you all are dealing with some kind of mental issue, if you're feeling depressed, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you need to go get some help before it gets to the point where you don't want no help. There comes a time in your life where you go through so much and you just don't want no help. When you start noticing that you're emotionally changing and you don't want to eat, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to do things with your family, right then is when you need to go find some help. The more you put it off, the worse it gets. I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
If I hadn't brought God back into my life, I may not be here right now.
There you go, brother. There you go. Yeah, I tell everybody, man, if you need something to rely on other than just family and all that. You need something spiritual to rely on too. Some kind of spiritual. Yes, you need it. I mean, you don't got it. You ain't got to. You don't have to be God. It can be Buddha. It can be whatever. But find something to believe in. Yeah. Spiritually, you need that spiritual strength. Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
Man, who wants to live their life thinking that once you die, that's it? There's nothing after that.
Oh, no, I know there's something after this. I know for a fact it is.
I sent you some proof.
Yeah, you did, man. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I was like, wow.
That was pretty trippy. The evidence I sent you, and that EVP.
I always knew there was something else out there. I always knew it was. As a child, I lost my uncle.
Oh no.
I lost my uncle, and I didn't even know him that well. You know, I met him probably like maybe 3 times in my life, and the night before we was about to bury him, he came to me. He physically came to me and tried to take me with him.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I don't know where he was trying to take me to. And I was like, oh no, I don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
So I always knew there's something else out there because I witnessed it myself.
Dude.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a Bigfoot or Sasquatch or UFOs. I don't know but I know there are spirits, good and bad.
Dude, yeah. when I used to live in LaPorte, Texas, the place that we lived in, I mean, literally, you walk out the front door, and right across the street, there's like a little bit of area between my house and a cemetery. And I noticed things would happen, and we couldn't explain why. You know, I had a lazy boy.
Right.
Okay, you know how heavy those chairs are.
Yeah, they are very heavy.
I'd go to bed at night, and then the next morning, my chair would be upside down. All right, there was when my grandpa passed, I got one of his grandfather clocks. Okay, you know those are tall and they're very heavy. The bases on them are heavy, and if let's say your cat was able to knock it over, you'd hear it.
Right.
Okay, but we'd get up in the morning and it'd be laying on top of this cradle that Michelle's grandfather had built. It would just be laying there, and it happened more than once.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But yeah, I know there are spirits out there, man. I'm not dumb to that.
Hey, that one that I sent you the video, you can hear him say that was me.
Yeah, I heard him I heard him saying something. I didn't know. I was like, man, yeah, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna share a couple videos, and we can talk about it. Some of these videos that I'm gonna show you all. We can talk about it. First of all, I want to share a very sad story. Like I said once before, ladies and gentlemen, you need to make sure that you need to make sure that you are being aware of your loved ones, what they're going through in the hold on, let me see. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a story about an ex-soldier, ex-military, male victim identified in Sumter shooting that left 5 dead. All right. 38-year-old male victim who died after a shooting has been identified by officials. Investigators say Commander Sergeant Major Carlos Evans died after Charles Slack Jr. shot him after discovering Evans speaking with his ex-wife Aletha Holliday in the backyard of a Sumter area home. Evans was the command sergeant major for the headquarters battalion, U.S. Army Central. Evans was from Petersburg, Virginia. I was in Petersburg. Joining the Army in July 2002, he served in multiple duty positions and locations around the world before joining the U.S. Army Central Team in 2021. Command Sergeant Major Carlos Evans was an outstanding leader and caring friend who inspired and lifted up all those around him. Then Lieutenant General Patrick D. Frank, U.S. Army Central Command General Command Sergeant Major Evans, was well known and respected by all, and the influence impact he made within the unit will never fade. We collectively mourn the immense loss of his presence and our lives and our thoughts and prayers are extended to Command Sergeant Major Evans' family. A family friend says Sergeant Major Carlos Evans' homegoing will be held in Petersburg, Virginia, but his funeral arrangements are still in the process of being finalized. I think there's also a video, which I'm going to try to play here. Let's see if we can play this video.
We're a community of over 20,000 doctors. We practiced at all top 20 U.S. hospitals.
Let's get this ad.
Coming up on News at 5, tragedy in Sumter. 5 people are dead, 3 of them children, after a shooting late last night.
As adults, we're not conditioned to bury children. People as a community in our nation, we're not conditioned to bury a child. That's foreign to us. It's very shocking and very emotional for the certainly for the family, the community at large, and our officers and other first responders.
The latest on the investigations just ahead. Your News at 5 starts now.
Live from Columbia, this is WIS News 10 at 5. Live, local, now.
Continue to follow the very latest out of Sumter. A father shot and killed his 2 children, his stepdaughter, and an active duty member of the U.S. Army at a Sumter home of his ex-wife last night. That was before taking his own life. Those shootings happened just around 10 p.m. last night at a home on Whitetail Circle in the Woodridge subdivision on the west side of town.
We have team coverage on this story. Nick Neville covering what happened during the incident and getting reaction from the school. We begin with Nick on the latest details. Nick?
Dondi and Greg, just a really tragic situation here in Sumter. So we now know that the shooter, Charles Slacks, entered the home of his ex-wife, Aletha Holiday, using a key. That's when he found a 38-year-old co-worker of Holiday's in the backyard and shot him. Now, county records show that Slacks was also a co-owner of this home, and divorce records show that the divorce between Slacks and Holiday was finalized just back on March 3rd. After shooting that unidentified 38-year-old male, Slacks went inside. Holiday tried to stop him, but he pointed a gun at her. Holiday, who didn't have her phone on her, ran to get the cell phone from her co-worker to call 911, but couldn't find it. She then heard several gunshots, ran inside to find Slacks at the top of the stairs. He then shot himself. When Holiday checked her children's bedrooms, she found that all of them were shot and killed. The victims were Aiden Holiday Slacks, Aaron Holiday Slacks, and Ava Holiday. Their ages 5, 6, and 11. Slacks was retired military, the Army not releasing the name of the 38-year-old man who died until all family has been notified. Chief Russell Rourke with the Sumter Police says this could happen in any family setting, unfortunately, but with it being such a tight-knit military community, this tragedy touches all of the department's officers.
When you have a situation where little children were sleeping in the comfort of their own bed, and at no fault of their own, have their life taken, particularly by a father and a stepfather, that's difficult for us to rationalize.
We spent the afternoon today in that subdivision, in that neighborhood, speaking with neighbors. Understandably, none of them wanted to go on camera, but I did have the opportunity to speak with a father who says that his children children used to play with the holiday children. He was taking them to counseling today. Now, our Chris Joseph is also following this story for us. He's been talking with parents just about how difficult this has been for all of the children in the Sumter County School District. Chris, so question for you. Did the district make any changes today in response to these shootings?
Well, the district did release a statement, Nick, that of course it is grieving, and so are many of the parents that I spoke with today. Now, two of those children went to school behind me at Millwood Elementary School. The third and their older sibling went to nearby Alice Drive Elementary School. So when I swung by Alice Drive earlier today, I did see several parents taking their students out of the school. It's unclear if this was directly related to the shooting, and the district released early, but I did obviously speak with a lot of parents who are struggling with how they're going to address this with their children this evening. Otherwise, there's really no sign of anything different outside of the schools today. I spoke with one grandmother of a Millwood Elementary School student. She, again, and the parents of the child in question will have to figure out how they're going to broach such a serious topic. She asked that we withhold her identity.
With so much violence in our country, you know, that they're not innocent like it was when I went to school. They're not. You want to protect them, but you don't know how to protect them anymore because it's so much. It's so much, and you have to expose them to things that you don't want to expose them to.
I spoke with several other parents who all declined to go on camera this evening, but many of them were really just digesting the news themselves. Forget about even beginning to formulate a plan to broach this topic with their kids. Reporting in Sumter County, Chris Joseph, WIS News 10.
All right, Chris, thank you. And to read more about the story, you can head to our website.
Damn.
So,
God, I hate hearing that.
and this was a recent story. This just happened. This just happened on the 22nd of last month. Once again, like I said, retired from the military. If this retired soldier probably had some mental health, he probably would have, this probably wouldn't have happened. Who knows? But a lot of these soldiers come out the military. Most of them come out. They don't even get any they don't even have any medical insurance. Most of them don't, because they don't do enough time to get any when they get out.
And
there's no amount of time being to get proper help.
How are you supposed to feel about a person who just shot and killed, his family, his children? If he has problems, serious problems mentally, are you supposed to be mad at this guy for what he did?
Well, see, that's the thing. Did they go and say, well, he had mental health issues? We'll never know. They won't tell us that. They'll just say this guy shot and killed his family. They won't say, hey, well, this guy was dealing with mental health issues. And they won't tell us that.
And some people with mental health issues don't even realize they have mental health issues.
Right.
Back in the 80s, there was this guy. His name was Marvin Harris. All
okay.
Right. So my cousin happened to meet him through an ad for looking for a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he went and he met him, and he could tell he was a little off, but he was a cool enough guy that we we all hung around with him.
Right.
And Marvy had, that's what he called himself, Marvy. He had schizophrenia.
Mm.
And he'd swear like the FBI and the CIA and all these people were always after him. Anyway, he seemed harmless enough. Let's put it that way. You know, we even stayed the night at his house. We went to a concert, and it was in Houston, and he lived close enough that we all stayed the night at his place.
Okay.
And anyway, some years had passed, and I had gotten married and moved out of my house. And he went by my house, and he brought an air conditioning unit there for my dad to work on. But he was asking about me, and my mom's like, well, he's moved off and got married, right?
Right.
Well, a couple of days after that happened, he was home, and he liked to do his drugs. He had a bunch of marijuana. Okay,
right.
I'm talking probably like a pound. It was quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he started having one of those visions of they were after him.
Wow.
Okay. Now, go back a little bit. If he was taking his medication, he was fine, but he didn't like the way the medication made him feel, so he didn't want to take it all the time. But anyway, back to the story. He was so paranoid that he went and he took the marijuana and put it on his barbecue pit and was trying to get rid of it.
Wow.
So, of course, the neighborhood is starting to smell marijuana all over the place, right?
Right.
And one of the neighbors called the cops. And he was already having that delusion that everybody was after him.
Right.
So the cop shows up at his house, and when the cop opens the door, Marvy's got his gun and chases the cop across the street. The cop falls down in front of this tree, and he shoots and kills the cop. And anyway, he knew he needed to hide, and he went to the only house on the block that he trusted the people. He went in their house. He kind of barricaded himself in a room, and he's watching himself on television and figures he's not going to get out of it. So he turned the gun and shot himself. Well, you know, he had genuine mental issues, and they were doing this memorial thing where you could donate some money, and they put your name on a little plaque. And I think it was on a park bench or something. And his mother had gotten the money together to have his name put on this plaque. And the other people in the city were like, no, we don't want this.
Right.
You know, understandably, but he genuinely had mental problems. Are you supposed to be mad at him or be sympathetic? Because he honestly couldn't help it.
Right.
You know, I mean, whether he was on his medication or not, I don't know. I don't think so. Would that have made a difference? Maybe.
Right.
But him not taking it also was part of his mental health issues. He didn't want to take it.
Right. Right.
So how are you supposed to feel about that? I mean,
it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. You know what I'm saying? All I can say is, you know, we need to actually monitor our loved ones. Monitor them. Like I said, if you know that you're doing something too much that you usually don't do, like drinking, if you start doing drugs, stuff like that, you're trying to fight something that you're trying to fight something that's going on inside your head. And once you notice that, I mean, I know when I started drinking too much and all that other stuff, I know I was battling something. You know what I'm saying? And I went and got help for mine. But you're gonna have to be able, as a person, be able to understand that this, what I'm doing to myself, isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
This that I'm going through isn't right. Something's off. And then also as well, you as a wife, a husband, your children, you have to help monitor your parents, your loved ones, help them monitor themselves. Because sometimes, like I said, like you were saying, we don't know we have a problem.
Exactly.
We don't know. And if we don't know, and if we don't know, we need somebody to tell us that something ain't right. Something's not right. And I think a lot of times we like overlook the little things, like, oh, he's gonna be fine. He's just having a drink. Oh, he's gonna be fine. He's having just a little marijuana. Pay attention. Sometimes this little bit you watching is more than just a little bit.
It's something
you
that
definitely have to monitor your loved ones, man. Some of these things that happen with us, like that situation right there with the that family, probably could have been. It probably didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
If these two soldiers, both guys were soldiers. The ex-husband that did this to the family, he was a retiree. If he would have probably went and got regular checkups for mental health, make sure he was mentally fine, this probably wouldn't have happened. This probably wouldn't have happened. But like I said, a lot of soldiers come out of the military, they don't have nothing.
Something else that we haven't addressed is those women that have severe postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just as bad. Yeah.
They turn around and they kill their kids, and we label them as this monster.
Right.
But I don't know what goes on in a woman's head when she has a chemical imbalance like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's awful that she killed her children, but what was going on in her head?
Don't know. We don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, they don't know either, man. They don't know they're actually, what they're going through. I mean, a lot of times we overlook how we're feeling. That's one of the things we do as people. We overlook how we're feeling and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But that problem that we have has not gone away. It's still there.
Yeah,
it's still there. But yeah, man. Sad story, man. Sad story. But a lot of our heroes, man, are out here in the streets right now dealing with a lot of mental health. A lot of the homeless veterans we have right now dealing with a lot of mental health. We have a lot of actors that have mental health issues. Police officers, doctors. These people right here need to have the ability to go get help.
Yep.
Even if they say that I don't need help. They need somebody they need to talk to regularly, make sure they are physically, mentally healthy.
Yeah, that's another good point there. How many people out there that have some kind of physical ailments that are so bad that they just want to end it all. They're tired of being in pain every day. God, dude, there has been times where I would just think, I wish I wouldn't wake up the next day because I'm sick of the pain.
Wow, man. Yeah. Yeah. My grandmother was that way, man. My grandmother, she got sick. She got cancer. She could live longer than she wanted, but she's gonna take it no more, man. Just couldn't. Yeah. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, man.
Look how many people are quick to condemn, and I'm guilty of this too. Condemn someone who's committed an act like this, and say, "Oh, they're going to hell." But what if? This is why you shouldn't judge people that way. What if God noticed, this person wasn't right, and allows them to come to heaven?
Right.
I know this is getting off base here a little bit, but we should probably have some more sympathy.
Right. Yeah, we're always quick to pass judgment, man. Always very quick to pass judgment.
I mean, geez, if you were going through something, wouldn't you want somebody to be a little more sympathetic for what you're going through?
Of course. Like I said, we don't know what he went through. We don't know he had mental health issues. We don't know.
Jeez.
We have no idea. And maybe he did it. And maybe put it like this. Maybe he knew he had issues, but couldn't afford to go get the help for his issue.
Well, once again, it's that red tape that you guys have to go through. All the hoops you got to jump through just to get simple help. I mean, good God, the guy that I work with from Veterans for Veterans, he had to go. It was an hour and a half away to get treatment sometimes, and then wasn't able to even get there because he can't drive.
That's no good.
That's
no
not
good. No good.
This is how we treat the people that are fighting for our freedoms and rights and are going overseas and fighting for other people's rights and freedoms. They're putting their lives on the line, and we just toss them away like they're yesterday's newspaper.
Right. Sad, man. It's sad. It's sad.
And good God, the children, you know, and I blame society for the things that they tell kids nowadays. And when they don't see things going the way society says it's supposed to go, then they go into depression. They want to end their lives, and you know, they do all these crazy things. They go out and get hooked on drugs and alcohol. And geez, we have a friend that she pretty much sheltered her child all her life and acted more like a friend than a parent. So this kid got away with murder.
Wow.
And, you know, just, you know, you could see how this kid was spoiled and everything. So now kid claims that they have all these problems and mental illness, and all her problems are stuff that she's made up in her head. I mean, you can see, and you know, didn't go to school, left school.
Wow.
You know, saying that she has too much anxiety to get a job, so now is on disability. You know, but can go all the way to California with her friends, but can't go anywhere or do anything locally.
Right.
You know, didn't want to come to our house. And then when her mama did make it to our place and leave her kid behind, the kid's calling every 5 minutes wanting mama to come home. So she'd leave the gathering early because of the kid.
Wow.
You know, these kids, some of these kids are making things up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
But then there's those that really do have problems. And, you know, the ones that have been molested or, you know, physically abused.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to say, man. It's one of those things. It's hard to say. That's why I said, do you think it's real or you think it's just a cop out? It's hard to say. It's kind of like one of those things. I don't even think they found the science yet to actually physically see if people actually know what, you know, what's going to people's heads. Yeah.
You know, either way, when you have someone, whether they're faking it or they really have it, they still need counseling.
Right.
Irregardless, you need to find out, why is this kid pretending to be, you know, schizophrenic or has multiple personalities, or, you know, why is this kid acting this way? Is it for attention? Is it because they don't want to get picked on? Or does this kid really have this?
Right. Yeah. So that's it, man. It's just sad, man. I wish there was better care for our veterans out there, our soldiers, our police force, our doctors, our nurses, and hopefully, man. Hopefully, one day we do get it. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. I definitely believe we need it.
There's probably some kind of brain scan, and they can look at some part of the brain. Yeah, something. Anything, or just, you know, just to sit down and talk to somebody regularly, you know.
that just that alone could do miracles for somebody, you know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's show. We went over. We apologize.
No, I don't.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the show. As I told you yesterday, or the day before yesterday, we got a contest going on. I left all the information in the comment section. I don't need to tell you all about it. Like I said, it's in the comment section. And also, do me a favor. Check out my brother from another mother channel, The Bob's Broadcast. Great show, interviews, life coaches, comedy, paranormal activity, everything you need. Good vibes. Check my brother out, the Coyote himself, my brother from another mother. Great guy, man. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
One of the best in the world. We will be back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. Any final words, my brother?
Well, first off, thank you for those kind words, and I'll be sending you your money that I promised for you saying those things. No, I got a video that I'll be uploading here in a little while.
All right.
And the kid that I interviewed, I say kid, he's 29 years old, but you know,
young man.
my oldest is that age, so
okay.
You know, kid to me. His dad was a pretty famous musician.
Okay.
But he's not trying to emulate his father, but he's trying to get his own music career going.
All right.
And he's had his troubles in life, but he's taking the responsibility and he's tackling everything that's, you know, that he caused, you know, legal problems. And
right.
But he's getting his life together. He's quit drinking and drugs and it's kind of like Linkin Park music, you know, that little bit of hip hop and rock stuff, you know. Not
I like Linkin Park. All right.
So, you know, he's a good kid, and I'm really trying to promote him, and so I'm asking everyone to check out my newest video. Should be up in about the next 2 or 3 hours, and
right.
Yeah, check out his music and see what you think.
All right.
I think he needs encouragement.
I want my promoter, man. Playing some of his music on the show, man.
Oh, well, I can definitely talk to him and see if we can make that happen.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. Anything to help out.
And again, thank you folks that have gone over to my channel and subscribed. I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me. It really, really does. Awesome. I may not know you, but I love you and I appreciate you.
That's it.
And we have a guest tomorrow.
Yes, we do. We're gonna have a guest tomorrow. Yes, indeed. This should be real interesting.
I say
Andrew Tate's brother's coming on tomorrow.
he is very Andrew Tate like, but I say he's the better version of Andrew Tate. So his name is Nico Lagan.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be interesting. This seems like it's gonna be real fun.
You know, YouTube encourages you to make the shorts,
right.
Short videos, and the ones that I put up of him has gotten more attention than any of my other ones. So
wow, okay, huh?
Yeah, if you want to check that,
is he on YouTube?
You know what? I got all his links in the description of the video.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Let me check him out, man.
I think he is on YouTube. I believe he is.
Okay.
If you give me just a moment, I'm gonna see what the name of the video. I got so many up, I can't remember all of them.
Oh, okay.
It actually is called "Have I?" Oh my God! Have I met the better version of Andrew Tate? That's the name of the video.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, this was gonna be juicy. I can't wait.
Yeah, the kid that I'm promoting.
Right.
The name of his group is Midnight Daydream, and that will be in the title of the video if you want to check it out.
Okay. Are they on YouTube too? Midnight Daydream?
I don't think he's on there yet.
Okay.
I've got his press release, and I'm going through the press release, and usually it has all the links in it. So whatever links that they provide me, I will be putting in the description.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. I can't wait. Tomorrow sounds fun.
It's going to be fun. If you want to be slapped in the face with some truths, that's the guy who's going to do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, man. We're going to have some fun tomorrow.
And I'm still working on my buddy Mustafa. He hasn't sent me a message back yet, but hopefully we can have a show about the paranormal.
Hey, sounds good to me, man. Sounds good. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all want to tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. You might not want to miss this one.
It's going to be good.
Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Love y'all, man. Y'all enjoy your rest of y'all day. We'll see you tomorrow. All right? Let's get out of here, brother.
Yes, sir.